Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Journey to Christmasland. I am your intrepid Christmasland host, Kira Davis, and I am joined by my fellow Christmasland traveler and resident expert, Hamilton. And we're laughing today because we have a special guest. I'm really excited to introduce her. But before I get started, if you're watching, I want everyone to know we did not coordinate our outfit today. We're all wearing pink. In case you're listening, we're all wearing pink and basically the same shade of pink sweater. We're
And
literally
it's not even Wednesday.
anyway. Welcome to the show. We've got a big show today, and I'm going to break it down for you. But we are still reeling from this absolute absurd coincidence. The host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered, resident royal watcher for Christmasland, especially, and our guest today, Kinsey Schofield, joining us from Los Angeles. Kinsey, welcome. Why are you wearing pink today?
Yeah, no, I log on and I look at you and I go, oh, this is awkward. I thought it's just a pretty color. I was like, oh, I'll look gentle today. I feel like being gentle. And then you're like, I'm going to change. I said, don't change. No, we look so sweet. And then Amelia pops on and we're like, oh, no, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
We did not coordinate at all. Amelia, what was your thought process for the pink today?
I just was feeling, I don't know, a little like it's sunny outside. It's cold, but it's sunny. And I was just feeling a little like maybe a little bit springy, even though it's January. I don't know. And I've got a little ruffle going. For some reason, the ruffle just felt right today.
It's very Princess Diana.
Very Princess Diana. And I also felt a little bit like it's sunny. I mean, I'm in California, so it's, but, it felt springy. I don't want to bring out the Christmas wear, but I'm not ready for tank tops yet. And I just thought this was a happy medium and a pretty color.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations, ladies.
Ready to go like full Valentine's, like, with those kind of hearts and
This
things.
should be the Valentine's episode.
But I was like, nice and pink. And here we are.
Here we are, too funny. Well, I'm going to take it as a sign that we're supposed to be together today.
Exactly.
We've had Kinsey on the old version of this show before, but Kinsey is a royal watcher, and you can see her online on YouTube. You can see her across the YouTube universe and on UK TV as well.
Yeah, I prefer expert because it's my entire job. But yes, I also do lots of watching.
Expert.
Royal expert. Got it. Fair enough. Royal expert. I definitely will give you that. And I know she is because I watch all of her stuff religiously because I am also I am a royal watcher. I will say, Kinsey, tell people a little bit about yourself.
I have 4 dogs. It's called hoarding. My last Uber driver told me it was why I was not married. I love sugar-free Red Bull. But yes, I have a book about Princess Diana called Ours for Revenge Dress. I'm working on a new book about the royal family. I spent a lot of time in London. I met King Charles last year. I got to go to a private party at Windsor Castle. And I told him that he was really handsome and he liked that. I know. Watch out, Camilla.
You're on notice, Cammy.
Camilla. So I've loved the British royal family since I was a little girl. Other royal families don't really interest me. It's probably Prince William that does that. But love Catherine. I love the Princess of Wales. Loved Diana. And again, animal hoarding is really a priority in my life.
I have heard that the royal family some in the royal family are also animal hoarders, though.
Yes.
So perhaps it's just a hazard of the job.
Love that. Love that. Thank you.
Tell your next Uber driver.
Thank you, Queen Elizabeth, for normalizing it.
Yes. Well, I love watching all your stuff. I also would like to add that I also met King Charles. He was just Prince Charles back then, but he came to Canada. I'm Canadian. This is why I love the royals. And he came to Canada on his honeymoon tour with Princess Diana, and they were visiting an elderly home, an elderly folks home. And so we waited out, we got up at 4 a.m. and we were on the front line. And my mom gave me this little plastic carnation. I don't know. I guess she thought that we got to have something to hold out, to give.
Yeah.
And they came and they were running late. And so they just sort of we're rushing past the crowd, and I was holding my little flower, my little sailor girl outfit on. I was super cute. I was holding my little flower, and they just and Diana blew past everybody. They were late. She went right in, but somehow he saw me when he was rushing by, and probably the little brown girl just stood out in that sea of white faces. But he saw me and he turned around and he stopped to take the flower and he said, "Oh, thank you very much. Is this for me?" And it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
for Diana.
Yeah.
It was for Diana, who had rushed right by me, and my little 8-year-old self was so sad, I couldn't really take in the moment. I was mad at him that he stopped, and so the picture of me is like and then they
Oh,
interviewed me
no,
afterwards, and I
no.
was so sour because I wanted it to be Diana.
He knew that too. He was so jealous that people would be there to see her and not him. So, and
Mm,
he internally he knew that that flower was not for him.
Yes. He
wow.
still thinks
Yeah,
about it too.
I'm sure I'm sure he's still talking, sitting with Camilla and
Mhm.
going over that little girl in Prince Edward Island, Canada in the late '80s with
He's saying it should have been her and not Meghan Markle.
right.
Right.
Well, we're excited to have you. As you say, you do have 4 pups. You've got to get back to them. You've got some things to do, and you're a busy woman. Kinsey, before we get started, though, can you just tell me how do you manage your schedule? You're on European time. You're on UK time and Los Angeles time. I see you doing stuff in both on both continents. Are you exhausted all the time?
Yes. Yeah, like today I've done Australia and the UK twice. It's already tomorrow in Australia.
Mhm.
And later I'll do New York twice and UK again. So I try to nap on Mondays and Wednesdays because it's really late. I like write down nap, like must nap. And then, again, it's a lot of this. It's a lot of Red Bull. It's a lot of Red Bull and not leaving my house, sitting in front of my computer just working.
People think our jobs are glamorous, but really it's just a lot of like couch running.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
pretty much. Well,
I'm
you're
wearing
gonna have
pajama pants right now.
Mhm.
listen, Barbie on the top, pajamas on the
G.I.
bottom.
Joe below.
Well, we wanted to have you on today because we wanted to talk a little bit about royal protocol. In our last version of our show, of our podcast, you came and you did a really fun episode with us, and we wanted to talk today about sort of royal protocol in the Christmasland universe. Amelia set us up.
We love a royal episode or a royal movie. So sometimes they're like an undercover royal and it's usually a woman and the guy is a prince. Occasionally we get a princess, but they fall in love and then it's like twist, I'm gonna be king, I'm in line. Or we get where they know that the one person is royal, but they can never be together because I'm just a commoner. We get the two different versions. But either way, there are a lot of things that come up a lot in these, the way the household works and the way, just different like etiquette things that come up. And so we wanted to get Kinsey on to talk about, how it would work in real life. And I mean, obviously Christmasland is extremely realistic. So I assume that this is all highly researched and 100% true to life. So we are going based on one of our favorites, which is Princess for Christmas, the Sam Heughan one, where he dances incredibly well.
Smart, what is it?
And
Smart, witty, and surprisingly
surprisingly
funky.
funky.
Mhm.
And, it gives us a lot of those moments. So we wanted to kind of go through some of the things that we see all the time in Christmasland, kind of through the lens of that movie, but throughout Christmasland, and see what's real, maybe what is more like nouveau riche, but they're doing it to try to look maybe like they're aristocratic,
But I
and
do have a
what just
question to
isn't
start.
happening.
I do have a question to
Let's
start,
go.
Kinsey. How often in your experience as a royal expert, how often have you seen an undercover prince marry a commoner who poses as a prince, but then marries a commoner and takes her back to the kingdom?
I mean, I think Harry and Meghan are a good example. Harry posing as a commoner naked in Las Vegas. Meghan pretending she doesn't know who he is and being surprised and being like, "Well, we can't get married. I've been married once before and I'm an actress." I don't know. I mean, I feel like we would never, if that were to really happen. There are other examples. I think in I wish I could remember the king and queen. All I know is they kill seals and whales in that country, and so I don't like them. But where he met like a news anchor and fell in love with the news
Japan.
anchor. So like that's happened before where
Mhm.
she's a commoner. And I mean, the last couple, I think we should throw away the idea that's an old trope that they don't marry normal people anymore. Look at Princess Diana, although it could be argued that her family was, had more history in the UK than the royal family. She was related to Churchill, but she was branded as a commoner at the time. The Princess of Wales now, Kate Middleton, was what we called her then. She was considered a commoner at the time. She meets Prince William at school. They fall in love organically or strategically. God love her, whatever the circumstances were. And then Meghan Markle, I'd certainly consider a commoner. Twerking on the internet is, I think that positions you in
Ethan
the
helps her
commoner
labor,
category.
though. We don't know.
Yeah.
The Baby Mama song is on everybody's labor playlist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had 2 kids, and that's what I was
Yeah.
doing, twerking while I was in massive labor. You think you're gonna die. You think you're gonna die, but sure,
But let me just
twerking.
squat all the way to the ground. BRB.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. Okay, well, all right, duly noted. Very good
Wait,
history. Thank
can
you.
I
I just wanted
can
to
I,
know
uh,
how accurate.
can I do some unrelated royal notes I took while watching this movie for the 1000th
10
time?
Yes.
10,000%. Amelia is going I don't know if you wanna by the way, Amelia, was like, "Kinsey's very prepared. She knows exactly what she watches me, she knows exactly what she wants to talk about." I'll let Amelia I don't know how you wanna do it, Amelia. Do you wanna go through the movie, or you just wanna set Kinsey loose?
I think, yeah, I mean, she's unfiltered, right? Let's just go.
Okay. Well,
Go
first of
for
all,
it.
It's
Kira
all
Kira, I asked if we could I pitched this because this is my argument to you, which you disagree with, that Hallmark men can do better. Sam, now our sexy Outlander star, I look at some of these people like Robert Buckley, you're Christopher, and I'm like, "Come on, guys, there is more to you than Hallmark." So that's my first take. Did you wanna throw down right now about this?
Uh, I think sure, we can throw down about it, I guess, because to a certain extent, yes, you have to have you need more masculinity, and you can offer more depth in your performances, but also Hallmark is formulaic. And
Yeah.
so if you're too nuanced in your performance, that's going to take you out of it. I think the examples you just gave are actually excellent examples, and so I'll concede your point.
Oh, wow, that felt really good, thank you.
Did it?
Um,
Good. Just that's a rarity. Amelia's known me for almost 20 years now, that's a rarity.
she's never
that ain't
remembered.
happening.
Why?
Okay, so another thought I had is I wanted to brush Jules' curls so bad throughout the entire movie. They were not Princess Catherine curls. They were prom curls, and
Yeah.
I just wanted to take a brush to her so bad. Agree with me or disagree with me?
Agree. Like, she had the barrel curls that she had just sort of, yeah. Yep.
It was very early 2000s-y.
But I feel like Kinsey's right, though. Like, they were going for the soft blowout with the round brush, and that's not where they should have been anyway, but that's not.
Do
Mm-mm.
royal members perm their hair or curl their hair? Or I guess if I'm thinking, uh, and Megan aside, although she straightens her hair, but I guess I'm thinking, like, I don't think I've seen maybe Fergie back in the day with curly hair, but I don't think I've seen curly hair royals.
Well, Catherine curls her hair, but she brushes them out, so they look like waves. They look like
Yes.
these gorgeous big waves. And it took me a while to figure out exactly how, they do take a curling iron, but then they brush them out. So, but when it comes to perms and stuff, I feel like I know that they used to set Queen Elizabeth's hair, but and then she'd wear a cute cap if she needed to. But no, I don't. I feel like we've let perms go. Thank God. I feel like perms are no longer an option. I know that this. I know that neither one of you did not clock the unfortunate P Diddy reference by the butler.
Oh,
Oh, yes, girl.
can we go back 1 second, though, to actors and other things? Because I
Yeah.
wanted to mention one thing really quick.
Yeah.
So in what is it? A Christmas Prince, the Netflix one. The prince in that is the actor Ben Lamb, who we then who I've seen before in he was in a Stars miniseries as a royal, but it was more depth. And then he was in this last season of The Gilded Age. If either of you watched that, and he plays the Duke. So
Mm.
it was kind of fun to see him when he played the Duke as sort of a similar, like, let's cast, a British guy and put him in this like royal sort of role to marry the girl. But he got to have some depth, and his character like kind of progresses emotionally throughout the season. And so it was really fun to see like what you could do with like a Christmasland actor with
In a real, yeah,
something else in like a
with a
meteor
meaty
role
script.
that was
Yeah.
actually it could have been a similar character, but the next step.
I'm
Anyway,
with you. I
that was
love seeing that. I love
Yeah.
seeing that, and I think that there are some young men that are so talented, but they're on rotation in these movies, and I think, maybe if you just said no for a second,
Mm.
instead of being traipsing through fake snow in July in New
Right.
Orleans, you could be on the set of The Gilded Age.
Right.
Yeah, but Kira's right. I was probably pretty mean about it. I probably should have
That's
communicated it.
that's what we're podcasters. We don't make the movies. We don't have any skills except talking, and that is fine. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
All right, well, then I would love to tell you that I hated Master Milo, and I looked up Master Milo. It will surprise you not at all that he is a voice actor today, does a
Yep.
lot of voice
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
So he's still employed, which shocked me to my core. Um, Also, wardrobe department masochists. I know it's a different time. It's a different time in our lives, but not the cute mismatch print like stripes and polka dots. I was looking at a lot of hideous prints that should have been burned upon creation, not on a movie set, not paired together.
Right.
That is you were also looking at an older Hallmark era movie, so pre, sponsors and getting funded, and it was a whole culture. So they really were on a shoestring budget. But I agree, it was one of my complaints about the movie that Jules is like, I guess they were going for this bohemian sort of look how quirky she is, and she just looked stupid. So it's like
Yeah.
somebody's idea of what quirky was, and follow your thread here, Kinsey, about the authenticity of it all in a universe like Christmasland. We watched a Grand Ole Opry Christmas with our favorite Christopher Palaha, and the costumes were on point.
His butt in those Wranglers. His butt in those Wranglers.
We don't objectify Palaha on this show.
We don't
I
objectify
do.
Palaha here.
I was like, those are Wranglers. That is how a Wrangler is supposed to look.
He was wearing those color block shirts and those Cosby sweaters, though. He was wearing them. Yeah,
Yeah, yes, he
he
was.
wearing them out.
All right, my final unrelated to Royal note was that they used the same music from the movie Practical Magic towards the end, and that made me very joyful.
Didn't you note this, Amelia?
I have never seen Practical Magic.
I
don't
thought
know.
you said that.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. No, that I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the iconic sound too, so I was like, there's a budget somewhere. Okay, there's a budget
Interesting.
They
somewhere.
spent it on that.
Yeah.
Or yeah, because Sam Ewan he wasn't Sam Ewan at the time.
No.
Yeah. Who else was in that movie? Oh, Roger Moore. They spent it on Roger Moore.
They spent it on Roger Moore's hair color.
Yeah, I
Sir
was gonna
Roger
say,
Moore.
speaking of hair crimes in that movie.
Yes.
Did you want to transition to royal references?
I do, but so I feel like we just talked about wardrobe. We just talked about hair issues. Can we talk about Ashton's girlfriend / ex-girlfriend Arabella and the tiara?
Yes. Yeah. So
Which I think
random
is the same tiara that the little girl Maddie wears. I think they had one tiara that they both wore in different scenes. But anyway,
they did look very similar. So random tiaras spotted at the ball was my note. Traditionally, young women do not wear a tiara until they are married, and that's why this stood out to me because I thought she's a lady. Why is she wearing a tiara? As if she's as important as Prince Ashton's character. And so tiaras are typically reserved for young women that are married versus being on the prowl. I mean, the little girl wearing it felt. I imagine we're considering that more costume because of the element she's in. But yeah, I felt like that was but we also, if we're gonna go full on costumes right now, I think we have to acknowledge the outfit that, Sam is wearing during the sport. He's wearing the red jacket, the
Yeah.
white pants. I was appalled by this visually, so I Googled Prince William white pants to see if this has ever happened before in real life, and ladies, GQ article from 2016, "Prince William doing yoga in white jeans is a triumph," was the title, and the
What?
pictures were so,
It's a triumph.
I
so
do not
funny.
remember this.
Well, they're saying 2026 is the new 2016, which is also why I loved the headline. But it's Prince William on a field doing yoga poses in white jeans.
Right?
So it's happened before, I take it back. But to your point, it maybe they just did not have the budget, so things weren't fitting properly or whatever, but the white pants really stood out to me at the time.
Well, I
Yeah.
want to ask about the tiaras because as a royal expert, I believe was there not some dust up with Meghan and Harry and one of Diana's tiaras when they were getting married? Didn't she want to wear one of the tiaras? Is that it?
What Meghan wants is what Meghan gets, is what Harry
Exactly.
allegedly said to the Queen and Angela Kelly, the Queen's wardrobe assistant who
Yeah.
had access to the tiaras. There's like a vault, and you can't just go down to this vault. You have to make an appointment to go to the vault. You have to have a handler. And Meghan had a friend fly in from LA, the person that was going to do her hair, and so she calls up Angela Kelly and is like, "Hi, so and so's here. We want to see the tiaras." And Angela Kelly's like, "I have to request this. There are security concerns. There's a protocol you have to go through. I simply cannot just take you down there." And Meghan pitched a nasty fit, and that's when Prince Harry intervenes. Then, when Meghan actually does get access to the tiaras, she wants to use one of the tiaras that I believe is a part of a very yucky Russian history, like a tiara that was stolen when they were being slaughtered, something to
Mm.
that effect. I can't remember exactly what the history with the tiara was, but the queen was concerned that if if Meghan wore that tiara on her wedding day, all the commentators would be like, "The last time we saw this tiara, there were body bags." And so the
Mm.
queen was trying to say, "No, let's go for a happier tiara. Let's go for something that will draw positive attention versus negative attention." Again, this is so much about Meghan not understanding that actions have consequences and the queen understanding that they're going to nitpick every little thing you do.
Right.
So that's the story behind the tiara. The queen was trying to protect Meghan from some ugly history being brought up. And Meghan didn't understand. She felt like she was being picked on because racism, I guess. But the reality is the queen was just trying to protect her day.
Well, there you go. There you have it.
Heavy history. Sorry, guys.
No, that's what you're here for. This is exactly what you're here for. We want the inside goss. Yeah. No, that's very interesting though too. That I didn't know that about the vault, that there's like a vault and I think it's obvious. I think it makes sense that you would need some protocol to go down there and dip into that stuff. Well, all right. Well, thank you for that little lesson. And Megan didn't wear the tiara, right? She didn't get that tiara.
She did not
She
get
wore it
that
beautiful,
tiara.
I feel. I mean,
The one
But
that
she still looked great.
Yeah,
yeah.
she looked great. The one that Diana wore, well, Diana wore the lover's knot tiara a lot, and we actually used to see the Princess of Wales, Catherine, wearing that. But she's pivoted, which I really appreciate because, again, comparisons. Now we're all like, "Oh, Diana wore this tiara," instead of allowing Catherine to have her moment. But the Spencer tiara is what I believe Diana wore on her wedding day, and that now belongs to Earl Spencer, her brother. So you are more likely to see that tiara on his son's future wife, or
Mm.
potentially on his daughter's for a special occasion. But not really, because none of them speak to him. But that is a Spencer piece of property, not a royal piece of property.
All right, fair enough. And Amelia, I just realized that Journey to Christmasland needs a tiara.
Yeah, you do.
We
Yeah,
need like our family
we
tiara.
have one actually. I just wasn't gonna say, but I can't like lie to you.
There's no lying in Christmasland, and
That's
there's no
why I'm telling
secrets in
you now, but
Christmasland.
you
This feels
hadn't
like a
brought it up
direct violation.
specifically before, so I just hadn't said anything.
All right, this feels like a constitutional violation. We'll circle back to that one. Take us forward.
We'll talk about this when there's not video
Yeah.
or whatever. All right. I want to also ask you, just kind of going, I guess we've been everywhere. I was going to try to go chronologically in the movie and we just haven't at all. But let's talk about what's his name, Winterbottom or whatever, the butler. And
Paisley
we kind of
Winterbottom.
started there, and then I wanted to go backward to talk about Ben Lamb, and then we got, I don't know what happened, but butlers. Let's talk butlers.
Butlers.
Kinsey, I recently went to Mexico. My husband took me on just like a couple's vacation, and we stayed in a fancy boutique hotel, and we had a butler.
What's
Love.
his name?
And
Winterbottom?
it was very interesting. I realized I'm too American for a butler. I didn't quite understand the butler's service. And so I think I was doing a lot of his work for him. So I'm really interested to hear the butler etiquette here.
Well, I mean, really good friends with Grant Harold, who was King Charles's, Prince Charles at the time, butler. He went to Charles and Camilla's wedding. He went to Meghan and Harry's wedding. He just had a book come out called The Royal Butler. I've spent time with Paul Burrell, who was incredibly close to Princess Diana, especially towards the end of her life. Um, they're not supposed to be friends. They're not supposed to uh, be close to their subjects. Um, but it seems like they always end up being close to them just because they're always around. They become a part of the family. I mean,
Yeah.
Grant told me that he showed up one day with a spray tan and stunk so bad that King Charles sent him home for days. And then when he came back, he was in the kitchen and William creeped into the kitchen and he said, "I heard about your spray tan." And Grant was like, "I don't wanna talk about it. What did you hear?" And he goes, "Is it everywhere?" And Grant was like, "Yeah." And William goes, "Everywhere?" And Grant was like, "Yes, you get in the shower, you're naked." And William was like, "Will you show me your toes?" And so he had to take his shoes off in the kitchen in front of Prince William, a teenage Prince William,
Oh,
because William
wow.
wanted to see what the color of his
Yeah.
toes and the bottom of his feet versus the top of his feet, and he said that they had a laugh. And then with Paul Burrell, he documents to the point of almost insulting, like almost an invasion of privacy, his
Mhm.
relationship with Princess Diana and his books. And she'd call him when she was upset and they were separated. He's one of the last people she talked to before she died, and she was kind of saying, "I'm homesick, I wanna come home." He would check her house to see if he felt like that there were any secret recording devices throughout her home. It was another level when it came to I guess what I'm saying, a royal butler is not the same as a normal butler. Miss
Mhm.
Pat from Southern Charm, who's a friend of mine, has butlers. They might pick me up at the airport or make me breakfast in the morning, but they're not combing my room to make sure there aren't recording devices. They're not, um, showing me their spray tans. I think that there's just another level of intimacy when you work, for the royal family.
In the movie, Paisley Winterbottom, who's on my list for best Hallmark names, he was not just a of service, but he literally traveled to America to go wrestle the family and bring them back to the king and to the prince. And he was and this happens a lot in the Christmasland universe where the butlers are sort of inserting themselves into the personal lives of the people around them. And just listening to you describe, Diana's butler and the service that butlers provide to the royal family, it makes me wonder because, again, I watch Kinsey every single day, and you talk a lot about the bullying that has been, rumored during Meghan Markle's reign of terror when she was abroad, and I
And
wonder how
today.
she
It's still
did in the
ongoing.
butler department.
Well, that's one of the biggest Meghan and Harry love to tell you that Meghan is just like Princess Diana, but everyone that I talk to say their biggest difference is how they engaged with staff. Diana would show up at your house unannounced if you were her employee. She would sit on your kitchen counter and she would eat whatever was in your refrigerator, and she would gossip to you about other employees and other members of the royal family. Meghan would say Meghan is, if you read Valentine Lowe's Courtiers, says to one of Harry's employees, "I'm probably going to be your boss one day." I mean, I think Meghan was so led by insecurity that she demanded respect, whereas Diana grew up around aristocrats. Diana grew up around royalty. She used to play hide and seek with Andrew Mountbatten Windsor at the castle when she was a little girl. So I think she had a different level of respect and appreciation for them because she grew up in this lonely space. Sometimes it was the help that was sneaking her cereal at 10 p.m. at night when she's binge eating because she's upset because Prince Charles isn't answering his phone. And Meghan just didn't appreciate the people around her. And I can't stress enough, you work for these people because you want it on your resume or you grew up loving them through your own family. They don't pay well. They don't pay great at all. Your objective there is because you want to be a part of a historic institution, or you just know your grandma's going to die when she gets the call that you're working with the king of the Commonwealth. So I do
It's a
know.
service.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would confidently say, and to the attorneys watching, so you don't get in any trouble, it's my personal opinion that Meghan Markle did bully staff, was disrespectful to people, and continues with that behavior today. Otherwise, she wouldn't have lost her 11th publicist in 5 years last month.
Mm, 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 mm.
Okay, so about the staff. In the movie, we see the staff wandering around. They're hanging out in the kitchen. I know you had some thoughts in particular about the waxed floor. Can we talk about this?
Yeah, we see the waxed floor twice. There's the first time she slips twice. I mean, and my first argument is royal employees historically strive to remain unseen, unheard.
Right.
But when it came to the wax floor, what annoyed me about that storyline is that that's not realistic at all. They put guest carpet out to protect the floors. Very old or valuable rugs are often replaced with temporary, less precious carpeting for visitor protection during heavy foot traffic. We see that regularly at Buckingham Palace, and that would certainly be the case if you had a bunch of snot-nosed kids that you're unfamiliar with rolling up from America. So I was just kind of like hard eye roll on the wax floors gag because I thought they'd have some cheap carpet out. They'd want to protect, their surroundings.
Yeah. Well, and a staff member that was missing is when Ashton first shows up and he just like drives on up, parks his car, walks in.
Yeah.
No.
Royal, I mean, he's valeting his car at his own house. I know like what we're going for, and it was hot. He had his Jake 16 candles moment. I got it, and I was there for it.
Yes.
But the reality is, royals don't typically valet their cars at their own homes. I mean, last week we saw the Princess of Wales pull herself up on a rainy day to Windsor Castle and leave her car near the entrance she was using for an official engagement. So that didn't strike me as something very realistic, but I understand what we're going for, hot guy red car, and I committed to it. My heart melted just a little bit while watching it.
You have to suspend your disbelief sometimes. What about the royals and driving? I assume as an American fan that they're always being driven around. Sometimes I see Catherine picking up the kids at school and they'll have photos of her. And there's been a couple of really iconic photos of Queen Elizabeth driving the Saudi Arabian prince around, right? But what's the protocol for?
I just say I'm still not over at the Sussex wedding, Meghan driving them away. I'm not over it.
I bleached that moment from my brain. I totally forgot about that.
I must have done that too because I don't remember that at all. But that does.
When they
strike me.
left for the party
wedding itself, but between the wedding and the reception, they went back to like Frogmore or something. I can't remember exactly where.
Yes, and they pulled up
like
one
the
of
drive
the
to the reception. it's Megan behind the wheel, and
Yeah. She's like,
sorry.
"I didn't even need King Charles to walk me halfway down the aisle. I'm an
Yeah,
independent woman.
and,
That's why."
yeah.
Ugh, yeah,
Sorry, fellow women, but I
yeah.
think he should have
Yeah,
dressed.
sorry, I don't know if anyone can tell, but we're not fans of fake
Runner.
princesses on the show. We're fans of fake princesses, but we're not fans of fake ass princesses, no.
Oh my gosh, you
Mhm.
guys say ass in Christmasland?
I
Wow.
know.
No, that was actually we're probably gonna have to bleep that because that's Holidayland language, but
That is you're giving Lifetime right now, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so
man.
I've
Well,
my
what about
never heard
driving?
that word before in my life.
my favorite Royals driving, how do I word this? My favorite Royals driving, well,
Anecdote?
thug life. Prince Philip continuously got in trouble for speeding. For at one point, he was in such a bad wreck that they were like, "We're taking your license away." He's like 90 years old, hauling that word again, hauling you know what around the grounds. So the Royals love to drive. From a security standpoint, if they're in an official capacity doing any sort of work representing the crown, yes, they have drivers. And I've even noticed the way that they have like decoy cars. So if there are stalkers or if they're concerned about this, I remember seeing it in Boston, the way William and Catherine would pull up in the way you weren't expecting them to pull up. And then you didn't know which vehicle they were in because all of the vehicles looked the same. So if they're in an official capacity, yes, they do have a team of drivers and there is official protocol to protect them. Even the way that they open the door so that their body shields the royal, as the royal gets out to try to protect them from any physical harm. But they do love to drive themselves. If William and Catherine are heading to the grocery spot on located on the farm, they'll just go by themselves. Or if Catherine's picking up the kids from school, or if they're just going to a sports game, which they do quite often, they tend to drive themselves.
Interesting. Hang on, I got a
All
dog
right.
problem here. Get
Okay,
out.
we talked about hunting and especially the white pants. What about the archery scene? How do we feel about
Mm.
How do we feel about it?
how do
I
we
really
feel
had strong
about it?
feelings about the archery scene that I
I think
remember in the
there is
first watch
archery
of this
actually, it was in this one, but there is archery in a lot of Prince movies.
Yeah. Well, the royal family has had a long connection with archery. In the past, it was both a sport and a status symbol. Figures like Henry VIII and Elizabeth I were known to enjoy it. Today, the relationship lives on mainly through traditional and ceremony, like especially in Scotland, where the Royal Company of Archers still serves as the sovereign's ceremonial bodyguard. It's a reminder of how archery has symbolized protection and royal authority forever, for centuries. And even now, modern royals like Princess Catherine are occasionally seen trying her hand at archery during official visits. I think it shows us that archery is still a part of royal life. I don't know if it's necessarily something we automatically associate. I associate it with Devon Sawa and his Robin of Locksley movie, but
Mhm.
I do think that it's something that used to be much more important to them than it is today. I think that that was like a clever trope that they included in this movie.
Yeah.
Some things are just markers, right? They're symbols, right? Like the tiara. We're not going to use it, right? But we're just trying to indicate that this is a royal family. But what about the
Mhm.
hunting though? Does the royal family, because they did go hunting. I mean, you commented on Sam's outfit, but they did a hunting party in this movie. And when they came back, I remember Jules was so disgusted that
Mhm.
they were fox hunting. And he said, "Oh no, don't worry, we used a decoy."
Yeah.
Um, what's the royal protocol for hunting parties these days? Is it still even done?
They do still hunt some birds, I believe, because one of the big stories surrounding Andrew's exile was that he was still allowed their venues for hunting parties, and everyone was like, "Ew." But that being said, you see Prince William work with the Tusk Trust and a lot of these organizations to protect endangered species. So that's a predicament. There will be people that go, "I thanks for saving this animal, but what about your family doing some of this stuff? I think hunting is not as prominent as it once was in the royal family. It's also something Meghan hated about Harry. She went on a hunting weekend with him and was drama, and everybody walked away going, "She must be allergic to fun." But I do think that it's something that is fading as the environment and, saving some of these endangered species becomes so much more important to William and his father.
I see.
No. So one of the other, I guess not royal, but noble things that I used to be into, and Kinsey will know why I'm saying used to, but the former, well, I guess because I'm saying former Countess Spencer, Karen, had a YouTube channel that I loved. I guess the channel's still there, but about
We're all team
we're all team
Countess
Countess
Spencer.
Karen. Um, and it was about all the work they were doing at Althorpe and the restoration and things. And they did this fun episode about the clocks and the timekeeping. And anyway, I really liked it because I am a nerd about decorative arts and things like that.
She really is.
And one thing that they did when they were working on all the clocks is they brought in Jules from Buffalo, New York, and they had her look at all of the clocks because they had seen her in A Princess for Christmas and figured that she was the expert.
Yeah.
So I want to know what is up with having a broken clock just sitting out in the house.
Yeah. I mean, just like you're sitting there watching going, just because she sells antiques doesn't make her a clock expert. I mean, royal employees work specifically on Windsor Castle's clocks frequently, winding 400 clocks weekly, checking them daily, and spending
Wow.
significant time twice a year adjusting all of those clocks for daylight savings, with one man doing over 40 hours of work across residence to adjust over 1,000 timepieces. So you're right. In these old estates, clocks, they have their own entourage. They have their own protocol, and, I think that there's something really enchanting about that, but the idea that in this beautiful estate with this family that can just throw a ball at the drop of a hat would have a broken clock in the corner, and here's the antiques girl ready to fix
The
it.
antique girl.
Yeah.
And the name of her store was Antiques and Stuff.
I mean, who else would you trust?
Exactly. That's hilarious.
Amelia, I do. We're starting to wind down here. I don't want to keep Kinsey too long because she needs to get some kind of
Yes,
nap
I
time
know.
in today. I think it's already tomorrow, where she works. So just keep that in mind. Maybe
Nope.
let's do another 5 minutes or so. We'll wrap it up.
Okay. Let's get to the actual Christmas parts of it. So we've got the Duke, Grandpa, Roger Moore, hating the Christmas tree. And then we have, so spoiler, if anyone's listening with children, this is the part.
Oh yes, if you have kids,
Oh, yeah.
take your kids aside.
Santa Claus is real. Santa
It's
Claus is real.
adult Christmas talk, moms and dads. You must know what that means. Okay, go for it.
Okay. We want to talk about also Santa traditions.
Mm.
So we can talk
yeah.
about the Christmas trees, the Santa kind of traditions.
Yeah.
What do we have going on?
Yeah, so like you said, the Duke hates Christmas trees, and he's just absolutely livid when he spots one in his home. Until he doesn't. Yeah, he hates them until he doesn't. But
He has to learn the real meaning of Christmas
Yeah,
first. And
exactly.
then
He saw the ornaments and it just brought him back.
Right. There's a sweet reason, you're right. But I thought this was interesting because Prince Albert, the husband of Queen Victoria, is actually credited with popularizing the Christmas tree in Britain, especially within the
I
royal
didn't know that.
family. He grew up in Germany, where decorating Christmas trees, it was already a long-standing tradition. So when he marries Queen Victoria in 1840, he brought many German customs with him to the British court, including Christmas trees. This is why they were worried about Prince Philip. They were like, good Lord, what is he going to bring over here? Thankfully, it wasn't a lot. But these Christmas trees, they had candies on them, candles, which sounds like a fire hazard. They had ribbons, small gifts, and that was just a style typical of German Christmas celebrations. But it really didn't take off culturally until an illustration appeared in the news over there in 1848. And it showed Queen Victoria, Prince Albert, and their kids gathered around this decorated Christmas tree. And because they were the only trendsetters at the time, really. That image made Christmas trees fashionable almost overnight. Now everybody's looking to celebrate Christmas in this way, and that custom later spread from Britain to parts of the British Empire. But that's the history with Christmas trees. And do they believe in Santa Claus? Obviously, because he is real.
Right.
Duh. But Megan, in a recent
Should I
newsletter,
give spoilers here, listeners? Should I spoil it for
Yeah,
them or
it's
no?
Santite, and it's a real contention between us.
I don't do
oh.
Christmas. We don't have Santa in this house. No Santa in
Oh.
the Davids. My kids were not raised with Santa.
Oh, good lord. Well, in Megan's house, we know that she does because of a newsletter, an as ever newsletter she released, and I get those against my will. Let me just say, I never
That's why you get
subscribe.
paid the big bucks.
Whoever's put my email in that in that freaking box, I curse the day. I hired an Etsy witch. You watch your back. But Megan recently described the traditions that she's created with her family of leaving cookies for Santa and
Or
carrots for the reindeer.
traditions.
Yeah. So we do believe that certain members of the royal family pursue that tradition.
I would like to say two things, Kinsey. First of all, I will not be judged by the likes of you and Amelia, by pagans. I will not be judged. My kids are fine. Amelia swears they are not. She swears that they are just telling me what I want to hear.
I think they believe they're fine. They just don't know what they missed. I don't think they're lying to you. They just don't know.
She has the cope is really strong with Amelia. I have told our listeners this before, but to be honest with you, I did Santa when I was a kid. My mom did Santa, and the only reason we didn't is because I married into a pastor's family, and they never did it, and so we never did it. And I didn't have any moral issue with it. It was more convenient because the whole family didn't do it, and at this age with grown children now, it was great. It was a win. I call it a win. I never had to share any credit for the gifts. I didn't have to have that extra fuss on Christmas Eve. Yeah, it was great. Second thing, though, I want to say, Kinsey, is when you talked about the Christmas tree, I thought it was really interesting. And maybe I get a little nerdy here, but to me, it is an indication of the importance of a royal family, or as Americans. I mean, you're an American too, Kinsey. We're all Americans here, but we know that we don't necessarily depend on. We fought a war to divorce ourselves from that aspect of government, but I do think that there are maybe this is my Canadian coming up, but there is some value in a monarchy. And one of the things is what they represent and what they represent to their society. The fact that they could put a Christmas tree in their home and then take a picture and suddenly it's a worldwide fashion. It does speak to the value and importance of a qualified a qualified monarchy.
Yeah, that's a responsibility that clearly the working royals take seriously, and flower sprinkle Meghan Markle is not.
I totally agree. You won't find any dissension here. Yeah, totally agree. I was Team Meghan, by the way, when she was coming in. I love the idea of the Black Princess, but
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
what
anyways.
I would say to your point is not to go, if we were talking about the modern monarchy, President Trump has one meeting with King Charles and does a complete 180 on Ukraine. Now, all the conversations I'm having to have over the last few days is, will the UK cancel their state visit in April to Washington, D.C. if Trump goes ahead with Greenland? Well, maybe King Charles could step in and change his mind. They're not supposed to have political influence, but their influence is so powerful. They remain trendsetters. And so I do see the value in a modern monarchy. No, we don't have one. That's okay. I think
Right.
that it balances out that way, that everything balances out in a nice way. But I still look at what the British royal family is doing and see a lot of value in their existence.
Take us home, Amelia.
Well, just as a final question, when you look at the geopolitical landscape, how important do you feel like Winterberry is in our current climate?
Yeah, what about Winterberry? Where did
I
they
thought it was
fit into
Winterbottom.
Winterbottom is the butler, but they're in the Duchy of Winterberry.
Yeah, it's an understandable mistake, Kinsey. It's an understandable.
Castle Winter.
It happens all the time. Winterberry is the domain.
Uh, I don't know. I think that's a pretty tough question to end on. I don't know.
Well,
I just
what
I
role
feel
will
like maybe
Milo
not as
play
influential
in
as Genovia, but,
I hate Milo.
yeah,
I hate Milo so
yeah, what
much.
role will Milo play in bringing
well,
world
you need to
peace?
hear Milo, that actor, he also raps. He's got an album
Oh,
that
no, Kinsey, you didn't know this?
mhm,
I'm
He's a
done.
rapper.
I'm done.
He's
I'm
called Lil
done.
T. He's
wealthy,
called Lil T.
loyalty.
Isn't it in like Bieber's now Little Beeb or something, isn't he? Little
What?
Beeb? Little Beeb?
No, there's a different rapper named Lil B.
No, he
That's
changed
a different
Bieber
person.
just changed his handle to like Little Bieber or something.
I can't with these people. I
I
can't.
can't either. I can't.
What in the pink sweater of it all, girls? What
Yeah,
in the pink
yeah.
sweater of it all? But Milo does have a rap album worth finding on YouTube.
Mhm.
Just for a quick gander, we played a little bit of his music on the show here.
I
Yeah,
can't wait. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna do good. But when it comes to world peace, I have much more confidence in Winterbottom than Milo.
Okay, that's fair.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Agreed.
Kinsey, we're gonna let you go. I mean, we really could talk to you for a whole other hour. We will definitely try to have you back, or maybe even do some just pre-recorded segments in the future, so you don't have to take a whole hour of your
No,
nap
I love
time.
talking to you. Don't. No, I
Oh,
enjoy it.
good. We love having you. And it is hilarious to me that we all showed up in pink today. I am dying. This, again, not planned. But before we let you go, Kinsey, tell everybody about what you're doing out there, where they can go find more of your stuff. You are crazy if you're not following Kinsey, even if you don't follow the royal family. She's so much fun to watch.
No, not
Yes.
really. But I'm at Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered on YouTube and Kinsey Schofield on Instagram, where if I pop up somewhere else that I might share it there. But 5 days a week, you can listen to the podcast, and it is royal focus. So if you're interested in the royal family, I do stuff about the past. If you are so over the drama, I talk a lot about the Windsor Mountbatten history in general. Uh, the year is 1992 and Fergie has her toes in someone's mouth. We go into that stuff as well. So if you love the British royal family, and if you like just use the news from the UK, um, Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered is where to find me.
Excellent.
Excellent. Amelia, tell people where they can find us.
We are the best place to find everything is Journey to Christmasland Substack, which you are going to want to be signed up for anyway for the fun extras that we've got coming starting soon.
March
Also
Madness is
Journey to
coming up.
Christmasland, yep, on YouTube. JT Christmasland on Facebook, no, on Instagram and X, and Journey to Christmasland on Facebook.
And we are so thrilled to have you here, Kinsey. Oh, and I see all your stuff from Charleston. You know, my daughter goes to college in Charleston now.
Oh,
So
really? Will she hang out
every
with me in March? I'm back in March.
yeah, she'd love to hang out with you. Every time you're there, I'm like, oh, my friend Kinsey's there. Look. And she's like, well, what's she doing? She's with the Southern Charm people.
Yeah,
So my
I'm trying to get Shep Rose to marry me is what I'm doing, but he's
oh,
totally uninterested.
well, we can change. Let's talk offline about what we can do to strategize. We're Hallmark experts, right? And we know all about you can be the undercover podcaster. You know, they have undercover princesses. You be the undercover podcaster. You reveal at the last second, I'm not a beautiful socialite. I'm actually a beautiful undercover podcaster. And
Oh, I
he says,
love
oh, I've
that.
been waiting
Gonna
my whole
work.
life for a
Yeah.
podcaster.
Yeah, we
It can
can
happen.
the strategy, we need to get the strategy in place. That's very Meghan Markle of us. The one thing I can say, props to her. She secured the prince.
So far.
Well, okay, we could go on about that because I got thoughts, but let's leave it here so Kinsey can move on. Thank you, my darling, for coming. And I love that we were all coordinated today. Amelia, until I see you, and perhaps Kinsey again, I wish you days filled with butlers who are involved in every aspect of your personal business.
I wish you a tiara with a non-problematic history.
Oh, Merry Christmas, ladies.
Merry Christmas.